Hi, I'm Richard Zins, and I'm the inventor of PIDS. PIDS stands for Pi Intrusion Detection System. This is because it's an intrusion detection system based off the Raspberry Pi. So, who's it for? Well, it's for people who want to either augment or replace traditional security camera solutions with PIDS. What does PIDS do? PIDS allows the user to place the camera module and the motion sensor that comes with the unit in a confined space, anywhere between, centimeters away and up to 7 meters. What this does is when motion is detected within its view, which is a 120-degree radius, and like I said, up to 7 meters away, it will identify that motion has been detected and that there has been an intrusion. Once there has been an intrusion, you will get a text message on your phone as well as a email notification. The prototype of the hardware consists of a Raspberry Pi as well as a Raspberry Pi camera module attached with one passive infrared motion sensor. Also, the PIDS product runs a web server. That web server displays a website that the client or the user can access from anywhere in the world or on their network if they want to configure it that way. And so that they can view the surveillance dashboard. Their surveillance dashboard logs all intrusions as well as the corresponding pictures and the time and date of the intrusion, as well as provides configuration settings for the email and text notifications. Also, if there's been a lot of intrusions in a small amount of time, meaning it's probably the same intruder just muffling around, then PIDS will automatically start video recording. It'll record a 30-second clip of the intruder, and then it'll place that clip on the surveillance dashboard, aka the website. Like I said earlier, it's for small business owners, households, or even enterprise companies in order for them to augment or replace a traditional security camera solution in places that it'll work. Again, it only is designed to work for small spaces and give you notifications. It is not designed to replace premises that need all the time video surveillance, nor does it have the storage capacity to meet those needs. All right, now without further ado, I'm going to show you a demo of the product in action. Alrighty, so this is a Firefox window. From the Firefox window, we can see that we have an IP address up here. This is the IP address of the PIDS system. I am about to go through what is involved in logging into the PIDS surveillance dashboard and using it as a user for the first time and what would happen. Please note that this demo is not over the internet. It is over my LAN network. If you wanted to access PIDS from anywhere in the world, you would just have to change your router settings so that the Raspberry Pi is port forwarded to be accessed from anywhere in the internet, which is different per router. My router just got an update where we can't change that stuff as easily anymore, but the product has the capability of doing that. Anyway, so I'm a user and I'm logging in for the first time. It's important to note that the default username is PIDS and the default password is password. And I typed password wrong. When we hit enter, we can see we've logged in. And what do we have on the screen? Well, we have the fact that it says Pi Intrusion Detection System. We have a link to a list of intrusions, the log of intrusions. We have a button to delete individual intrusions. We have the limited settings, which are your phone number for text alerts and your email for email alerts. And we have the last video that was captured via the intrusion detection system. Now, this video will change if a new intruder lurks or bit for more than 1 or 2 motion detections, but for right now, it's displaying the old one. So we can actually play it for a second here. Notice there is no sound with the Raspberry Pi camera module, but as you can see, it does work, and you will see later that the video gets updated. when we have a new intruder. So the other cool thing about the PID system is, given that we're leveraging Linux behind the hood, the user doesn't even have to click start anywhere. The program that handles all of the embedded code just starts automatically via the system init program, which, as some of you may know, is systemd. Anyway, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to, as if I was a first-time user, I'm going to enter my phone number in for use. It actually already autofills it for me because I've typed it in so many times. Note, one constraint of the project, you do have to type in the +1 extension, and I'll explain a little bit more why later. And then I'm going to type in my email. I'm going to use my own hosted email, which is rizins@zins.dining.com. I'm going to hit save, and when it goes away, I know it's good. And now we just have to wait for an intrusion. Oh, look here. It looks like we have a text notification. Look. Alert. PIDS has detected an intrusion. Please check your surveillance dashboard. Well, so we got a text notification, but we should have also got an email notification. And there it is, 8:47, our email notification. So we're on our website, and we know that there's an intrusion started. We're going to go to our intrusion log, and we can see that it's already taken 3 pictures. These were from a trial run before, but these 3 are the new ones. So now, if it started 3, then it must have started the video capture. So while that video capture is going, we can go ahead and we can view these pictures. And it appears to be my dad. Who knows what he could be up to right now? We know that that picture was taken on December 11th, military time, so 8:47. And this is actually the file size. Next picture, we can see, oh, he's gone to the shelf. I can't quite tell what that is he's holding. It's blurry, but it might be valuable. We can see there's a gold-related thing below it. Let's look at the third picture. Oh, when he picks up the gold-related thing, we can tell the thing he had picked up before looks like an iPhone box. I hope there's no iPhone in there. All right. Now, we know that the captured 3 pictures, but let's see if the video feed is updated. To do that, we're going to go ahead and we'll refresh the page, and it still seems like it's the old video. It usually takes a little bit. Since the video captures 30 seconds from when the 3rd picture is taken, it usually takes a little bit of time to convert from the raw codec stream of H.264 to an actual MP4 video file. So we're going to have to give that a little bit here. Give it like 2 minutes or so. Right now, if I refresh intermittently, probably while it's converting to an MP4, this version of the video will probably go away any second now and say video not found. Oh, we can see the new video is here, so let's watch it. We're going to start it, and we can see it's 30 seconds. He is looking at an iPhone box. It's very interesting. So we can go ahead and we can maximize this, right? And we could easily screen record this for our use later. So this is what the intruder was doing. Looks like the intruder left. So that's basically how the software works. Now, you might be thinking, okay, well, after it captures the video, does it actually capture more images? Well, yes, it does. It'll work again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this intrusion log via this. And now I'm going to go run in front of the security system. And the next picture we see pop up is actually going to be me instead of him. So just as a double reminder, you can see nothing in the index of images here of intrusions. I'm going to go run in front of it real quick, and I'll be right back, and you'll see that it's me. This will be unedited, no jump cuts, so I didn't restart anything or do anything. You'll know that it still continues working on a cycle. Alrighty, I'm back after going and to the classified area, and the motion detector will have caught me, or the intrusions, I'm sorry, the intrusion detection system will have caught me. I'm going to go to intrusions, and we see 2 new pictures here at 8:51. Let's see, and look at it. That's me. So as you can see, this will work indefinitely until you unplug PIDs. So that was the demo, and that basically covers all functionality. Now we have to go over the constraints, what works fully, what doesn't work, and what I wish was working or I think would need to be implemented before this product goes to mass market. So let's talk about what does work. Right now we have a Raspberry Pi. That Raspberry Pi is connected to a Raspberry Pi V2 camera module, also from the Raspberry Pi Foundation. It is also connected to a passive infrared motion sensor. Now, originally I was going to have 2 to 3 motion sensors, but I found that 1 was enough. So what does the prototype do now? Well, with that hardware combination, it can sense when motion is detected. When it senses that motion is detected or that there is a intruder, it will log that, take a picture, and upload it to this website. Also, after 3 different motions, meaning the intruder is kind of fluffling about there and it wasn't just, say, an accidental trip, it records a 30-second video. It will do this on loop. Also, on every intrusion detection, the system, PIDs, will send the user a phone or text message or an email. So what does the website do? Right? Website displays the video, lets you configure your phone number and email to use for the alerts. It allows you to view the intrusions as well as delete the intrusions. That is it. Also, the website allows you to authenticate into it via username and password. So what doesn't work? Well, the first thing is the initial authentication. If you guys remember, that default username and password right now is the only username and password you can have. I did not get it implemented so that there's a way to actually change that, and there's a good reason why. The main drawbacks to the way I've implemented this prototype is mainly actually the web stack and less about the hardware side. So I'm going to talk about what I could have done better there first. So first, a quick advantage of my web stack. It's simple, it's easy, it's almost static. It's not technically static content because I am accessing files within the file system to change these settings here and to delete things here. But for the most part, it's not really dynamic. There's no back-end server frameworks that are being used. There is a back-end server, obviously, to serve the HTML content, but there's no back-end frameworks like Flask or Node.js. The advantage to that is it was super quick to implement, or not quick, but quicker, and it was easy to use. The downside is it's harder to generate dynamic content. So what do I mean about it being simple and easy to use? Well, if you just use basic HTML and CSS, it scales well. So if I zoom in to symbolize being on another product, we can see that it scales using CSS fairly nicely. It doesn't look perfect, but it's still readable, right? Same with the intrusions. This intrusion log is actually handled by Nginx. Great thing is I didn't have to write any backend framework curl code to update when this directory gets updated. Nginx does that automatically. The bad thing is Nginx just serves out this HTML that it generates, and I can't change it at all. So hence, it doesn't look the same as this. Also, because we're not using backend frameworks, there's a little bit of security risk with me doing this delete instruction, right? Deleting those. The reason being is because we are using the unlink function, if you guys are familiar with Unix system programming at all. And obviously, if overflowed and used on a spot in system memory, where not applicable, that could be very bad. Now, the way I've set up the permissions on the back end, that shouldn't be able to happen, but as someone who's interested in security, it's something I think about. Same thing with settings. The way I'm doing it, not necessarily the standard way, but a way that still works as well. Another problem I've noticed is, since I'm just reading from text files, right, if I didn't build in any knowledge to my program where if someone says, because I don't have any backend framework code, I didn't build in somewhere if someone says, oh, I left out the area code and I just typed in 362.5332, I don't necessarily have any code that says, oh, this computer's in this geographic region, let's fill in 805, right? Nothing like that. So you have to have the phone number exact, which is with the country code, which is the +1 and everything. Lastly, the other drawback to not using a backend framework like Flask or Node.js is that this video file, right, this is static here, and that gets updated by the embedded code in that particular location with the same name so that I can refer to it in the web code statically. If I had implemented using something like Flask, we could have live streamed the content live, but we wouldn't have necessarily been able to always live stream anyway, because the camera in the Raspberry Pi Camera V2 module is single use, meaning only one process can use it at a time. So it wouldn't handle multiple requests, and you'd have to either stop taking pictures or stop live streaming anyway, but it's good to know. Now, I'm gonna embed on the screen some video of the prototype in person so that you guys can see it. But the other problem with the hardware is that you'll notice the motion sensors are wired. Now, originally my plan was to have long wires and to just allow the user to stretch them out and cable manage the wires themselves. About partway through of doing this project, I realized that that was a bad idea, and that's not a very good user experience. So had I done things differently, I probably would have made the motion sensors wireless using something like the Node MCU. So that brings me to my point on what I think would need to be changed about this prototype before it could go to mass market. The team would need to implement the website so that it uses something like Flask or Node.js to better suit the configurability between the website and the embedded code. Second is I would make the motion sensors wireless, and I would include support for being able to use multiple. Other than those two things, I think this prototype shows that the concept works and that it does have a niche in the marketplace, and that this product could be successful. Anyways, thank you everyone for your time, and I appreciate you watching my product demonstration. Thank you very much. Goodbye.